Welcome to the Living Well podcast, sponsored by the Village in Howard in Columbia, Maryland. Our goal is to promote active and healthy aging. We're excited that you are here to spend time with us, and we hope to become your friends and bring sunshine to your day. The title of our podcast today is Meet Your Podcast Hosts. We don't have any guest speakers. It's just myself and Joy to talk about who we are, how we met, and why we wanted to start a podcast and what we're trying to accomplish. I think that the first thing that comes to my mind is, what is the Village in Howard? And how did each of us find that? And I don't know if you want to talk about how the Village came to be created along with the other folks that were involved in that.
Yeah, I'm one of the founding members. In 2011, my husband and I lived in Albany, New York for 29 years. So in 2011, he retired. We moved here to Maryland to be near our grandchildren and daughters. And all of a sudden, I lost all my old friends in Albany. And I was going just to birthday parties, pizza parties, music recitals. And so I thought, well, I need friends of my own age. And one day I saw in the local free monthly called The Flyer. And it said there will be a meeting for maybe creating a senior village in Howard County, because there was none at the time.
It's amazing how much seniors are of the demographic in Howard County. It's a huge part of the county and growing every single year. It's kind of amazing. Yes. Lots of people are choosing to retire here and live here and be a part of the community.
There's 60,000 seniors in Howard County. So I went to the meeting, and amazingly, the room was full. They had to bring in more chairs. And at that time, another one of our founding members, Mary McGraw, invited a person in charge of a village in Washington, D.C. Say, come and tell us what the village is about and what do you do? Okay, so he gave the lecture. Another reason I went there was I already heard and saw TV little interviews about senior villages. The first one was I found it in Boston, Beacon Hill village. And at the time, several friends said, well, we're not going to retirement communities. We want to live in our own homes. So let's just organize something and we'll help each other. Great. So Beacon Hill Village now is about 20 years old and many hundreds of members. So I went to this meeting, and Mary collected email addresses. So I gave them my email address. And 2 weeks later, she sent me an email saying, well, if we really want a village in Howard County, we need to get to work. So I went to her house. There were about 12 people sitting in her living room. And so she said, well, we need to get started. After that meeting, maybe 6 of us stayed and said, yes, we will volunteer and try to get this going. Fortunately, I had experience working with nonprofit organizations in Albany, New York, where we lived. I was heavily involved with the Chinese Community Center. Mm-hmm. So I knew how a small nonprofit organization worked. So I volunteered, and for 2 years, there were about 10 or 12 people. We call ourselves the steering committee. So someone in charge of communication, fundraising, different jobs. And we actually had to come up with our own money from our pockets to apply for the 501c nonprofit status with the IRS. And also we had to become incorporated in the state of Maryland. So some of the legal papers and so on, we had help from volunteer lawyers to review our applications.
Mary told me that her job for the first 2 years was essentially every day she'd go and work on whatever she needed to do about creating the village. Did it take the 2 years, or is that her pre-work on getting going to Montgomery County and understanding what that village was about?
No,
or-
we just had one meeting
Okay.
from DC, a village manager from DC. Then we just worked ourselves.
Okay.
And so that's 2 years of work, and of course we had no bank account, no budget, and no place. So we met in coffee shops, like in the library, and so on. We had and some of the village offices. We had meetings, and so then at the end of 2 years, and some members on the steering committee organized coffees in their own homes, invite their friends and neighbors to come and try to explain what this is what we're trying to do. We would like to join. So, and we went to the libraries, public meetings, and had really good turnout. So, and we of course worked diligently, sometimes 2 meetings a week. So in October 2013, we were about ready, and we paid $2,000 to buy a skeleton website, and myself and another person, Michelle, we worked, I don't know, almost 1,000 hours or more to it's like the house. We bought the house frame, but we filled the rooms with furniture and books on the bookshelves.
Put drywall on the walls.
Right. So
It's amazing to me that I think people hear about the village in Howard and they
Yeah.
think that we're a retirement community, a place to go live. But that's not it at all. We're really a group of people that have decided the antithesis of that, right? We're going to stay in our own homes. We're going to age together, create a community, right?
Yes. Because
So that was intentional from the beginning, very beginning.
Yes. Same model as the Beacon Hill Village. And because tons of surveys and statistics have shown that seniors do want to stay in their homes as long as possible. They do not want to go into a retirement community, if all possible. So, so in October 2013, we were about ready. We had the website done, and there was a senior fair in Howard County. So I said, well, let's go put a table there. And so we can advertise. All right, so we are there on that day, and people walk by and say, oh, Village in Howard, where's your place? We said, we don't have a place. We live in our own homes. So people have a misconception. So they hear about the village, and they think, and the name village means like, yeah, village, you all live together. So, and then January 1st, we start to recruit new members. At the time, we were really very worried. Like we look around steering committee, okay, 10, 12 of us, including our spouses. Okay, so we'll have 20 members. But amazingly, we had 100 members as soon as we started. And now, 10 years later, we have about 200 members. Yes, that's how we got started. Also, we had to make the bylaw. We went to other villages, like, could you please send us a copy of your bylaw? So we got
I mean, being a nonprofit, there's a whole lot of things that we've got to do too.
Also, there's an organization called Village to Village Network. They're like the center, and then down here there are more than 200 villages now, all over the United States. There are some villages in Australia and Europe.
Wow.
Yes, and we all have the same models, the age in place. So, people probably wonder like why Mark and I are hosting this podcast together, because we're so different in many ways. Mark only joined the village a year ago, and I've been here 12 years. So we even though we're so different, but we share the same passion for volunteering and for active and healthy aging. And he is a techie. I know a lot of people because I've been here a long time. So we make a good match because we complement each other.
I think we do. when I came to the village, I started to make a joke that I worked at T. Rowe Price for 27 years before I retired 2 years ago, and or almost 2 years. And once people hear I'm a tech guy, they're like, "Oh, hey, can you look at my phone?" And so I've made a rule that I don't fix people's phones. I will if they ask, if they're really in trouble with it, but I don't generally want to be that guy. But I have been adopted as the unofficial tech guy of the village in Howard on various things, whether I want to or not. And it's worked out fine. Like, I think that's how we kind of got together is we bought the camera that we're using to record today, and I was tasked with making it work. Not to say that you and Fran couldn't have done it, because it's really not that hard, but it is a little challenging to kind of figure out how we can use this little thing. So that's what opened up the door for me to like get to know a lot of other people in the village. I was before kind of my origin story is I retired in early 2024 because our financial people that my wife and I use said, you're ready to go. You've got what you need. And I've been saving since, in my early 20s. So I lived a very frugal lifestyle. And so that worked out. I didn't retire to help my parents move into assisted living, but that's ends up what's happened. Like, I put in my notice to retire on my birthday when I turned 55. And about a week later, my mom told us that she and my dad were moving into assisted living. And my dad has a memory disease. And so, we had to pack all their stuff up, downsize their house, settle their house, and get them moved in. And it really did take the better part of a year to really get everything done. And my siblings were amazing help. Like, it was absolute, everybody on deck, teamwork. I have a brother and a sister and their families. And so everybody did amazing amounts of work. And, my sister-in-law is a realtor and she sold the house. So a lot of work. All of us did so much. And then after that was all done, but before I got married to my wife, we met at an event in Howard County, a play actually, and it was a meetup.com event, and she ran meetups all over the county, happy hours and different things. And so I thought, now that I'm retired and I have more time, let me see what meetups are around. And it ended up that a lot of those things are at night or happy hours, but there's not a lot during the day. And so I started looking for a retired person's group. And that might even be what I looked for, what my Google search was. And the Village in Howard came up right after AARP, actually. And, the fact that the calendar was linked on the top, you can see all the things we do, So I walked up, it was in February, it was cold, it was winter. And they weren't walking outside yet, but we have walking events through the course of the week, every week. And I walked into Columbia Mall over by the Apple Store and walked up to a group of senior people, clearly senior people.
Right here.
Right here, exactly. And I said, "Hi, I'm Mark, and I understand you guys walk every Saturday." And I was instantly adopted by several of the people that were there and had a great conversation. And at 10 o'clock on the nose, because we are nothing but prompt in the village. If we're doing something at 10 o'clock on a Saturday, we are off. Like, you can't.
9 o'clock.
Well, it was 10 because it was winter. But yeah, it's 9 o'clock now in the summer. And so that's how my village journey started, right there. And I did a couple of things, I guess, my first month. Happy hours here and there. I think I missed the village social for that month. And I joined 30 days later. So, by March I was a member, and that worked out great. So, I think that we really are an intentional community, and it really does show. Like, the fact that and I've seen many people walk up to us at events and just ask questions because we look like a group. Like, everybody's got the white hair. We're all different. I don't know if you can, I have gray here and there. Little gray. My hair's long, so it's all hidden underneath. The I because I came to the group by someone who just walked right up. I personally keep an eye on folks that are around the edges, and I've noticed that several people will scope us out a week or two before they decide they get the confidence, because it's hard to walk up to a group of people that you've never met before
Yes.
and introduce yourself and say, "Hi, I'm here to do stuff with you." But that's exactly the kind of people we are. We totally are like, "Oh, hi, this is Christine. This is Joy. This is Paul." Right? I mean, you get to know everybody. It's so overwhelming for the names. The names come eventually, but I guess we've been an intentional community from the very beginning. Really, welcoming all kinds of whoever wants to come and hang with us. And I'm continue to be impressed about the things that people want to do. I like to think of us as maybe more of an elder health organization than anything else, like, because we do have health related programs.
Yes, we have lectures.
We have the walking is community, but it's also about getting exercise and getting out and having community afterwards with coffee or whatever. There's always a gathering afterwards to hang out for almost the gatherings after an event almost last longer than the events in a lot of cases. Like, it might only take us a half hour to walk someplace, but we'll hang at the Starbucks for an hour. So, I mean,
But one thing that many people don't know that why so many old timers stay in, because we love the volunteer aspect of the village. 40% of our members actually are volunteers. We volunteer for to serve on committees, on the board, sponsor programs, driving. Members who no longer drive because of a vision problem or a disability.
I mean, I think that is a huge part of what we do that's hidden in a lot of cases.
Visits and
taking people's trash cans out, there's things that lots of people can't do.
After surgery, we have
shopping for people,
right.
as the case may be,
Yes.
meals if people are recovering. I know
Yes.
a bunch of that.
So that's very precious, because not only for the people who are benefiting from the volunteer work, also many of the volunteers feel very satisfied for doing some good for others, even in retirement. And so slowly they actually form very strong friendships, the drivers and the person being driven. And that's a wonderful thing.
Well, I think that's how we do a lot of our recruiting too, is retired people are looking for volunteer opportunities.
Yes.
And
no, there are even non-members.
Oh, sure.
That are drivers, volunteer drivers. Totally amazing. We're very grateful. Yes.
Anybody that wants to volunteer, we're definitely open to. Where you said you were in New England and came to Maryland, like, what is your history, Joy? Like, where did you come from? How did you wind your way?
I was born in China during the Second World War in the city called Chongqing. And I grew up in Taiwan until I finished high school. Then I came to the U.S. I went to college, graduate school. I got married to a medical student, and I have 3 daughters. And now I'm a grandma of 10 grandchildren.
Wow, that sounds like a full-time job right there.
3 of them actually graduated from colleges this summer, so I'm very proud.
That's exciting.
Yes, and I was a chemist. In the early years when my children were small, I taught in chemistry, organic chemistry, in community colleges and 4-year colleges. Then I worked in a chem lab for many years.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to work by myself in a lab by myself, but outside the lab, I'm actually a pretty outgoing and social person. So I really enjoy the village and meeting friends, making new friends. Yes.
I'm a Maryland boy from the very beginning. I grew up in Towson on the other side of Baltimore from Columbia. I have always had I had a job over here in the 90s that kind of drew me to Howard County. And I met my first wife over here. And we moved from Towson to the Columbia. And I had a family. I have two boys who are now in their 20s, right? We just had a college graduation as well, which is super exciting. My youngest has gotten his first real job. My oldest is a doctor of occupational therapy at University of Maryland. And so, the kids are on their way, which is wonderful. So I've been in and around Howard County for 30 years and either living or working here. And we live in Long Reach now with my third wife. And, kind of looking for our next challenge. And we love to travel and also meet new people. And that's something that the village is very good at, is there's always something new. Because you especially are one of those people that is always looking for a new program or a new thing you can do.
Yes. So you're going to organize trips, right, for our members?
I think we're going to start. I don't know if it'll be there will be a travel program. I don't know if it'll be travel pod or what we're going to do. Travel committee. So we'll do short trips at first, and then we'll look to do other things later on. Like we'll probably do a European trip eventually.
That's wonderful.
We know who will organize it through. We have the right things set up already. So that should be cool. I don't know how many people have an interest in this. I know day trips. We used to do a lot of day trips. And the nice thing about Howard County is we have a lot of day trip opportunities. We go down to DC, we can do museums. The Women's Pod does a lot of cool things like that. I believe they've done a lot of gardening related things.
Museums, they go to museums, mansions.
They've gone to some places in Baltimore. They've gone to some places in DC. So we're going to try to do some of that as well for the wider membership. Some people have talked about day trips to maybe Philadelphia or New York. And I know that we used to do weekends in New York back in the day.
Yes, before COVID.
Yeah, so we'll try to work up to that. And we have some folks that are going to help us across the village to do this. My wife and I will be involved, and there are other folks that'll do that too. So
that's great.
That's pretty exciting. I think that lots of folks want to start doing those things again. And of course, COVID was, it's time to start getting out in the world again.
People are always wondering, why are we doing a podcast right now?
Right. Why are we doing this? And this was your idea, and you dragged me into it.
Recently I've been watching and listening to a lot of podcasts. Actually, several are from Taiwan.
Okay.
And
I listened to a few about movies and TV and the books. A lot of books that I read, I get ideas from a couple of podcasts because I found some people that like the same kind of books that I do. And it's really hard in cases to find the thing. Books especially are very hard for me to find. So I get some of my news from podcasts. Like I think it's an incredible platform for just whatever your interests might be.
Yeah, well, podcast is the thing now. So I figured, well, we have the website, we have the newsletters. Why don't we do podcasts? We can reach more people, not just our members. We can reach seniors in the community and even my senior friends all over the country or outside the country. And we all have friends that are in a similar age group and they have the same need for certain areas such as downsizing, how to take care of a family member with dementia problems, and even how to be a good grandparent.
Yeah. So
we will try to do these topics and we can all share our experiences. Also, personal stories. A person who have lived to 75, 80, they have lots of stories to tell. And so we have members who have in their past career or life.
I mean, a lot of stories, a lot of experience.
Right, exactly.
It's a lot.
Make interesting stories.
Yes.
Yeah. But we're brand new. We don't know what we're doing. We're trying.
We'll figure this out.
And we have helpers,
volunteers.
Fortunately, we have Kristen, Julie, and Claudia help us with our design. set up the social media accounts and do the website for the podcast. So we're very grateful, and hopefully,
Very much.
Years time we'll get maybe 200 views.
Yeah, we got to get better at this. I know this is, we need to use our technology better and
Yeah, but we will improve.
get some more, get some more gear. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hopefully our listeners and viewers will join our journey. We travel together and enjoy our days.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be fun. We'll see how it goes. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Catch you next time.
Yes, bye.